Good evening. Welcome to Advanced Engineering Design. My name is Blake Sauders. I will be your student's teacher for the entire semester. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Indiana. I attended Purdue University. I have a master's degree from DeVry University. I've taught at Wapahani High School in Selma, Indiana, Barron Collier High School in Naples, Florida, and finally, Lyons Township High School. I've been here, I think I'm starting my 17th year. My family and I, we live in South Naperville. My wife works at Built Elementary School. Our son is a freshman this year at Neuqua Valley High School. I volunteered as a coach for Little League Baseball. I've coached YMC basketball, flag football coach, and I was also my son's Cub Scout den leader his entire time in Cub Scouts. Some of our hobbies include woodworking, hunting and fishing, and camping. I'm also the Technology Student Association robotics team coach. This is our fifth year, our fourth year competing nationally. We have 5 teams. Over the years, we've grown. We started with 1 team, 7 teams in our 3 years of competing nationally. This will only be our fourth. Have qualified for the Illinois State Championship. 2 of our teams have qualified for the VEX World Championships. Last year, we competed at 3 tournaments. We won 11 different awards. 2 of those were tournament champions. 4 of our teams last year qualified for the state championships, and 1 qualified for the world championships. The bottom is our website. You can also scan the QR code and it will take you there. If your child's interested in joining the robotics team, we'd love to have them. A little bit about the course. The Advanced Engineering Design. We are designing in 3D. We're going to talk about the different intricacies when it comes to designing in 3D and what they need, what they should be not doing. Software-wise, we're going to talk about using only Fusion 360. There's lots of different software you can use. We use 360. The good news is they all kind of work together, but we're going to be able to use Fusion 360 to create drawings to industry standards. Students will be able to communicate that method and the rationale for the types of 3-dimensional drafting methods that they've used. Students will also know a little bit about career information and employment skills that they will need to be career ready. As I said, software we're going to use is Fusion 360. We will use that in class. We will use that remotely. So whichever setting we are in, we will be using the same software. Some of the areas we talk about the introduction to Fusion 360. They had it, or most of them had it, when they took engineering design. If they were in last semester, second semester, unfortunately, we weren't able to use that software. We used a different one. So they got a little taste that was called Onshape. It works very similar to each other. So we're starting off by teaching them a little bit about it now. Then we're going to talk about parametric solid modeling. Then we're also going to talk about CNC milling, some working layouts, and then some assembly drawings. Some of these projects take a little bit longer. Typically, it's anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks per drawing area that we're on, unit area that we're on. So please bear with the kids if you don't see a summative grade often. There's only going to be several in there. There's about 4 or 5, and that's about it. But we will be working throughout the semester as we continue with those things. Grading, we're going to use a straight 10% scale with all letter grades. There will be a common summative assessment that will be used across the board. We'll have formal assessments working our way up to that common assessment. They will get feedback on those formal assessments, and then they can make adjustments to those as needed. And then they will be ready for that common summative assessment. Please understand, though, when the due date is set, if they don't turn it in at that time, it'll be marked with an M. They have 2 weeks to submit the common assessment, summative assessment. If they do not, it'll be converted to a 0. They can redo or retake or a revision of the common summative assessment. It's a no harm, meaning that if they score lower the second time, they will still earn the higher grade. They have 3 weeks to do that retake from the original due date. Your student and I will sit down and we will discuss what they need to work on and focus on before they do a retake. Remote learning. The question is, how are we going to do this? That's been the question since we found out we were going to do this. And my honest answers to the kids has always been together. Um, we need to work together to make this work. They're going to have to tell me what's working, what's not working, where they need help. They have to communicate. They have to advocate for themselves. Just like I have to communicate with them, how they need to do something, when they need to do something, where they can find information to get more help, how they can get more help. But as long as we work on this together, we will achieve more. Um, Please encourage your students to reach out if they're struggling or they need more help, and I will do what I can to help them from the remote situation. The Zoom is really good, especially I found in this class where if we just go one on one, they can share their screen. I can give a lot of feedback, more information that way than in the group setting. So before school or after school or during a study hall, we can work on those things together. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me, bsauders@lths.net. Thank you. Have a great evening.